As it turned out, Mrs. Tamasisi knew a whole lot more about seances than you expect from a former pro wrestler. She explained that they were a way of talking to spirits and hearing their replies through the help of a medium. What's a medium? I asked, trying to lighten Benny's mood. One size less than a large? Mrs. T raised an eyebrow. Pardon me while I die laughing. It's someone who uses psychic powers to communicate between the living and the dead. A shudder rippled through me. For a second I kind of hoped that Monterosa was fresh out of mediums, so we wouldn't have to go through with this. But as it happened, Mrs. T knew just where to find one. She's a teacher at your school, said the store owner, Jessica Flashley. Miss Flashley, said Benny, since when is a kindergarten teacher a psychic? It's true you don't need ESP to read a Rugrat's mind. Mrs. Tamasisi chuckled, but she mostly used her powers after school tours. I scratched my head, and how do we know she's a real deal? Monterosa's a pretty small place. People tend to meet others with similar interests. And I know my supernatural stuff. She's real, alright? A little color returned to Benny's face. Okay then, he said. We visit her first thing tomorrow to see if she'll hold an after-school seance for us. Agreed, I said. Better clear it before with your parents and your custodian too, said Mrs. T, stroking her cat's back. After all, someone will have to unlock the room after hours. Parents and psychic check, said Benny. Mr. Boo check. Anything else? Scanning her store, Mrs. Tamasisi noticed a couple of kids with comics heading for the cash register. Yeah, it's best to have at least 5 people at the seance, in case the ghost challenges the pickup basketball game, said Benny. You had to hand it to him, Even when nervous, he kept the humor going. She shot him with her finger. Funny guy. No, it's something about the group energy. Makes the seance stronger. Spinning her chair in one slick move, Mrs. T rode off to serve her customers, broad shoulders plunging and releasing smoothly. I walked with her a few steps. Thanks, we'll let you know how it goes. You kidding? I'll be there myself, said Mrs. Tamasisi, and I'm bringing Honey Girl. Your cat? I said. Why? Cats can sense the supernatural, she patted the calico. Plus, she keeps my lap warm. I could hardly argue with that. Benny and I said our goodbyes and took off. Outside, I noticed he looked a little queasy. Something wrong? I asked. Benny gulped. Nah, he said. It's just those. Uh, I know what you mean, I said. I really hope it doesn't turn out to be ghosts. If we're lucky, it won't. Although the way our luck usually went, if it wasn't ghosts, it would be something much, much worse. There may be some things that my abuela's chicken enchiladas can't cure, but that list is a short one. I sat down to dinner thinking about Comatos Jose, the mysterious new kid, and the possibility of evil spirits at my school. My muscles were tight, my breath was shallow, and my mouth was drier than a Death Valley rock garden. But within a few bites I felt my shoulders loosen, and my breathing returned to normal. Still munching, I saluted Abuelita with a fork full of enchilada and made my a yummy sound. She beamed. I'm glad you like it. The secret ingredient is what makes it so good. Love? Don't be silly, Abuelita chattered. Toto, add a scoop to the sauce and as magia, pure magic. I glanced over to see if my dad was enjoying the meal as much as I was. He stared at the table, chewing like a robot, his mind a million miles away. Rough day, Dad? Hmm? He blinked and focused on me. Oh no, worse than usual. Same old bits and bytes. But his smiles didn't quite reach his eyes. Trouble at work? I knew things could be stressful for computer programmers. Whatever it was, they did. My dad stepped down at his plate, toying with his food. That's how I knew something was wrong. No one ever does anything with abuelitas enchiladas but wolf them down. No, chamaco. I talked with your mom earlier. I gripped the chair arm. It's Veronica, right? Something's wrong. No, your sister's fine. She loves being on the show. In fact, she wants to change her last name to Star. That sounded like a showbiz crazed little sister. She wanted to be an actress almost from the time she could talk. She wished she lived in Gravity Falls, and she considered SpongeBob a close personal friend. Then what was it? I asked. Abuelita sent him a concerned look. It's just hard, he said. What is? This whole living situation, only seeing your mom on weekends, is tough on everyone. I swallowed a bite, and the enchilada turned to stone in my gullet. This was how it had started with Tyler Spork's parents. First, his mom was away all week, working in San Francisco and coming home on weekends. And then one day she never came back. My mom and sister spent every Monday to Friday down in LA so Veronica could do her TV show. Was this the beginning of a split? Could my own parents be hated for? I couldn't even say the word in my mind. My hands got tingly, my throat felt tighter than a boa's embrace. Abuelita reached across and brushed my hair back. You okay, mijo? He looked pale. I didn't want to say anything about anything. Sometimes speaking your fears aloud can make them real. I'm fine, I muttered, but then I couldn't help turning to Dad. Are you and Mom okay? He stopped, waving his hand. Of course. Everything's fine. Their Christmas break is coming up next week, and we'll all be together again before you know it. But the sadness in his eyes told me the truth. Everything wasn't fine, even if the situation didn't change. Soon, I have more in common than Tyler Spock than I cared to admit.